Sziasztok, sziasztok, ez itt a videóplac, mint láthatjátok, visszatértünk a mi kis csirke kalandunkhoz. Chicken Police Painted Red, Sunny Federlen nyomozó, illetve Martin meg Chicken, meglátjuk mit alkot most. Húzzunk is bele, irány, folytassuk, és aki még nem iratkozott fel a csatornára, azt tegye meg most, hogy ne maradjon le a következő részről, illetve egyéb tartalmakról. Továbbá dobjon egy lájkot, ha tetszett a videó. Nos, visszatértünk akkor a hotel szobánkba, beszéljünk is Martival.
Look, I'm sorry I dragged you into this, Marty.
Ah, don't be. I would have been bored to death, still be on that shooting range.
And Laura, what about her?
She's used to it. Every New Year's the same. You know, since that special one.
Don't say it.
A bloody New Year's. Yeah. So Laura's probably at home, waiting for me on the couch, staring into a candle and killing a bottle of wine. Or two.
You can get out of this any time. You know that, don't you?
If you start something, finish it, right? Let's just make it through alive, okay? Or Laura will bite off my head. Literally.
I'm on it, partner.
Oké, na nézzük, hogy most, hogy Marty itt van.
If there are books in the world worth feeling sorry for, these are them.
Ja, arra voltam kíváncsi, hogy Marty hogyan reagál, de igazából nem kell, mert maga az egész dialektus megújult.
You know, this city's outgrown us.
Why do you say that?
Well, don't you feel it? The whole place squeezing you. The polluted air, the sirens, and the smell of cordite.
Don't be such a drama queen. It's not the world that's changed, it's us. Clawville's Clawville. We're just getting older.
No, there really is something. You know the feeling of foreboding, of something wrong, of something bad on the horizon.
You're screwing my mood.
Yeah, but I'm not sorry.
No shit.
I think there's family stuff in there. What's left after my wife and daughter.
Fiókban már nincs semmi, ugye kivettünk innen mindent.
Would you like a shot?
You know what? When we're done with the case, then we can celebrate.
Let's hope the case won't end us instead.
Amen to that, Brother Bird.
Brother Bird!
When this is all over, I'm gonna hire me a secretary.
Have you started on your great novel yet?
I've already started working on my will, but I realize I'd have to leave everything to you, so cluck that.
Huh, pity. I've always wanted a chicken coop smelling like old socks and bourbon.
You'll have to earn it first, Marty.
Istenem.
121 days until retirement. Then to infinity and beyond.
A végtelenbe is tovább. Jó kis Buzz Lightyear. Ezek már voltak.
Man, I can't imagine how you feel. The only good thing you ever had, huh?
Shut up, Marty.
Sure.
Mi jó fejtársunk van.
I didn't know you used to be a kindergarten teacher. But leather?
It's history, so back off.
I'm touched by the trust you have in me, Boss Bird.
There are things better left undisturbed, okay?
Yeah, got it. Who's that shaggy creature?
That's M.B. Davis, you bird brain.
Politician?
Am I gonna have to smash your beak?
Seriously, I don't know who the hell he is. Huh. The old days. You know, I miss him sometimes.
What, the hype? Us as celebrity cops?
Nah, the work, the buzz. The phone ringing at 4 a.m. and knowing if you pick it up, you'll be dragged into something terrible, because that's your job. And of course, you pick it up every clucking time.
I'm not sure it's healthy to enjoy that.
Hey, no healthy animal becomes a cop in Clawville.
Yeah, true.
A nagy igazságok. Repkednek
So
oda-vissza.
this is them.
Yeah, the wild gentlemen. They were role models when I was a kid.
Well, you must have been a weird kid, which ain't surprising. My idols were the White Wolf and Super Squirrel.
The White
Super
Wolf, eh?
Squirrel.
Explains a lot. You know, when I was back in Averia, Clawville and the whole let's live together in peace bullshit seemed like an unattainable dream. Those guys made it happen. The city rose from the ashes of the Great Fire.
Yeah, but look at it now. And what would have become of you if you hadn't ended up in Clawville? Maybe you'd even be happy?
Perhaps.
All right.
My bedroom. Sort of.
Na jó, és akkor most kellene majd mindjárt telefonálni. De először kódex. A bőr és szőrme ruhák meglehetősen divatosak voltak hosszú ideig, azonban mostanság, főleg Clawville-ben egyre ritkábban látni ezeket, ugyan nem illegális valódi bőrt és szőrmét hordani, még, de meglehetősen megkérdőjelezhető, hogy ilyen finoman fogalmazzunk. Egy civil szerveződés, amit a város 4 legbefolyásosabb és leggazdagabb állata indított új útjára. 893-as tűzvész majdnem végleg elsöpörte Clawville-t a föld színéről, amikor közbeléptek a vad gentlemanek, és minden befolyásukat és vagyonukat latba vetve újjáépítették a várost. Hősök voltak, legalábbis annak tartották őket. Sokak szerint azonban a tűz is az ő művük volt, és a katasztrófa hátterében egy nemzetközi összeesküvés áll, de hogy mi az igazság, azt valószínűleg már soha nem tudjuk meg. Hoppácska. Azt hiszem, ugye telefonálnunk kell. De először Louise-nek a telefonszáma. Szegény nyuszi. Na, jól mondtam a nevét. Akkor Louise. 551 932. 5 9 3 és 2.
Hey, Louis, sorry to disturb you. Again. Could you come over to my place? I have a question for you. It's very important. It's about a case.
A real case? With the chicken police? Of course, Sonny. I'll be over in a few minutes.
Thanks, pal. I owe you one.
One? Just a second.
Bírom Louis-t. Nagyon nagy forma. Először egy picit a hangon állítok. Amit így jelenleg nem tudok, szóval reméljük, hogy nem ennyi elég lesz.
Good old rabbit. I can always rely on him. Thanks, Louis. Again.
Oh, don't mention it. Besides, it was my big dream to help you with a serious case.
Well, let's hope you can help. What can you tell me about this list, old pal?
Well,
these names. I know half of them personally. Maybe even more.
I knew it.
But I have no idea what kind of list this is.
here we go.
But these are all members of the upper class, politicians, business people. Oh my. Even the commander of the Royal Guard.
Damn.
But I really don't know what it means.
So, is it a dead end?
I'm afraid so.
A gárda parancsnok érdekes lehet.
May I ask what you have gotten yourself into? This looks serious.
It's complicated, Louis. But nothing good. I can tell you that much.
Ah. Is there anything else that I can help you with?
Maybe there's something.
Alright, kérdezzük.
Deborah, the girl who came to me tonight.
Yes. She's a very lovely young lady.
Where did you take her after you two left?
Where she asked me to. To Flowerville.
Flowerville? Rochester Street 37?
Yes, exactly. Why?
Luck.
something happen?
Nothing good, Lewis. Nothing good.
Aha.
I don't know what you said to him, but after you finished, he almost immediately van disappeared.
Really? That's suspicious.
Or he had business elsewhere. It's New Year's Eve. Everybody's going somewhere.
Ott a pont.
I didn't see her after the show. If I'm not mistaken, she usually leaves when everyone else has already left.
What else do you know about her, Lewis?
Oh, not much. What everybody knows. She was a dancer, then a backing singer, then star, and then club owner.
We found out as much already. Do you think she'd fled the Stavonian massacre? That's why the secrecy?
Do you mean the massacre of the royal family? I'd say her accent is a dead giveaway, and her name too, though it's undoubtedly an alias.
So it's possible that she is a part of the royal family?
I don't think so. Nobody could have survived that awful night.
You're probably right.
Aha.
This?
This?
Oh, my goodness.
I think we have a bingo, gentlemen.
You see, I also have one of these.
A card? Like this? Really?
Yes. It's a membership card to a very exclusive club.
How exclusive?
Very.
That's what I'm talking about.
What does SN mean, Lewis?
It's the sweltering Nile.
But that's a...
Well, yes, it's a brothel, but it's not like that. It's something completely different.
Calm down, Lewis.
Teljesen
We're not going to tell
más.
anybody.
Thank you so much. It is rather embarrassing.
Listen, Lewis, how do we get in?
You want to get in? Well, if you show them this card, they'll surely let you in, but it will be obvious you're not regulars there.
Ugye ez
We're
az a rész
used to that.
meglehetősen érdekes lesz.
So, are we going to a luxury brothel?
Correct, Marty. Thanks for the help, Lewis. I owe you one. For the third time today, I think. What should we know about the place, Lewis? Besides what they're, dealing in there?
No, it's an elegant and exclusive place. Not everybody visits them for that, you know. Some animals just go for company.
I see. I guess it's mostly visited by the upper class.
Mostly, yes. The wealthy who have a taste.
Yes, of course.
Is it true what they say, that it's some kind of hidden stronghold of the royalists?
The Nile is a proud herald of the coexistence of all the species. Yes, but stronghold? I don't think so.
But the place must be an eyesore for the separatists, right?
Oh, don't worry for the girls, Sonny. They can defend themselves quite well. The separatists wouldn't dare to go near the place.
Well, we'll see what they have to say about
Kívánok,
these two old cocks.
That was a little bit, equivocal.
Megvoltak a kérdések. Beszéljünk
What could
Mártival.
this list mean? And what's the...
I have no idea, Marty, but we'll figure it out.
Jó. Nézzük a nyomokat. Kártya, amit Deboránál találtunk, egy tagsági kártya, Sweaterling 9 nevű luxus bordélyba. Na csak az öreg tapsi füles úgy tűnik szereti az időt meglehetősen luxus körülmények között elütni. Egy már-már legendás luxus bordély, amit főképp a felső 10 000 tagjai látogatnak, és Louis barátom, ahogy nemrégiben kiderült. Na milyen helyek vannak még? Semmi. Egy helyre tudunk csak elmenni, akkor menjünk. Második fejezet.
We were heading toward the most exclusive brothel in Clawville. The separatists and those opposing the monarchy hated the place, just like they hated everything that supported interracial relations and peaceful coexistence of all species. So the place wasn't just a brothel, it was a symbol. But just like a brothel is not a worthy symbol, Clawville failed to turn out the way it was intended.
Well, here we are. The kingdom of long legs, silky skin, and fluttering lashes. We've arrived.
Calm down, Marty. Watch your blood pressure.
Okay.
These brides are elegant, just like Laszlo said.
Lewis.
What do you think could be the old rabbit's type? Fluffy tails, furry ears, a raspy tongue?
Oh, for the love of all the gods, stop it.
But just think about it.
Please shut up, Marty.
Istenem.
She's what I call an exotic beauty.
Well, that's one way to put it.
Hey, every animal's the most beautiful thing in the world to someone.
Yeah, you're right.
Oof, I don't know about you, but I go weak in the knees for stripes.
Please, Marty, I don't want to know. And I don't care. Keep it to yourself. And let's get out of here quickly.
Can't I even talk to you anymore?
You can. Ask about the weather, or how's my lower back. Those two are even connected if you want to know.
Yeah, old fart.
Tudunk vele
Excuse me,
beszélni.
gentlemen. Would you be so kind as to help me?
With pleasure, ma'am.
The zipper always comes down on my dress. Would you kindly zip it back up?
Can I, Sonny?
What am I, your mother? Do what you want, for God's sake.
Happy to help, ma'am.
Oh, what a gallant young man.
Clucking lords.
Nem áll, ezt most komolyan nekem kell megcsinálni? Gondolom abban a világos részbe kéne tartani.
Oh, thank you, honey.
Marty, ma'am. Marty McChicken.
Thank you, darling Marty. I'm much obliged.
Anytime, ma'am. Anytime.
Erre most tényleg volt egy mini játék? Szétadom.
That woman. She's familiar.
Do you think it's her? The broad from the Bloody New Year's?
God damn it, Marty. Do you have to say it out loud? It gives me goosebumps.
Chicken bumps, more like.
Anyway, I don't know if it's really her. I always get confused by the exotic ones, but... yeah, maybe.
Honestly, it gives me the creeps.
Yeah, me too.
Alright, kaptunk egy kódexet. Az ügy, ami örökre megváltoztatta Sunny és Marty életét, egy különös bejelentéssel kezdődött, melyet egy tigris hölgy váratlan látogatása előzött meg, és végül egy keltető házba végződött, ahol két nyomozó példátlan mészárlás szemtanúi lehettek. Az ügy hátterében egy még sohasem látott méreg állt, melyet azóta sem sikerült beazonosítani. Sunny személyesen is érintett lett az ügyben, amikor egy különös cilinderes alak a családját vette célba, ám mielőtt elkaphatták volna, elmenekült. Az ügyet valójában sohasem zárták le, ám a főügyész nyomására az újságok másnap mégis úgy számoltak be a vérvörös szilveszterről, mint a kakas páros a csirkekapók dicsőséges győzelméről. Innen indult útjára egy kényszerű hazugság nyomán a csirkekapók legendája. Wow. Ajtón nem megyünk be, madárfickó.
That guy's stare gives me the creeps.
I can see why.
I've always told myself that birds are weird.
What did you just say?
Huh? What? Me? Nothing?
Aha.
I think she must be the receptionist.
Bravo, Mr. Detective.
Why'd you have to be like that all the time?
Well, sometimes I seriously can't decide if you've become totally stupid over the years, or it just entertains you to act that way.
Well, you know, that's a good question.
That's exactly what I mean.
Oké, valószínűleg Martinnak a
My name is
véleményeit tudhatnánk
Day-Night
meg erről.
Diamond. Welcome to the sweltering Nile, gentlemen.
Miss Diamond, I'm Sonny, and this is my partner, Marty.
If I may, miss, you have a beautiful name and exceptionally wonderful stripes.
Marty, not now.
Oh, thank you very much.
Please excuse him. He doesn't visit places like this very often. Me neither, to be honest.
Oh, nothing to worry about, gentlemen. There's a first time for everyone.
You're absolutely right.
We're just interested in a certain lady called Deborah.
Deborah. We don't have any employees by that name right now, but if you want, any of our girls would love to be Deborah for a night.
No. Excuse me, you misunderstand. She doesn't work here.
I'm afraid I don't follow.
It's kind of confusing, but let me try to explain.
Please, I'm at your service. I'll gladly answer any of your questions.
You hear that, Sonny? Any questions?
Shut up, Marty.
Oké, nézzük meg az infót. Day-Night Diamond, ugye zebra, nőstény, gyönyörű, kimért és profi, és valószínűleg prostituált. Csinos zebra recepciós a Night pultja mögött.
If you have a specific question, please, go ahead, officers.
Akkor
you've
innestől már...
noticed we're cops.
Please don't take this the wrong way, but it was evident the moment you turned up.
Should we take that as a compliment?
If you'd like.
Oké, akkor innen se tudjuk, hogy jelvénnyel nem kell szórakozni.
I wouldn't want to offend you, far from it, but it's evident you're from the police, even without this.
Is it that obvious?
No, it isn't, but, you know, here in the Nile, we have a keen eye for this kind of thing.
Right. I understand, ma'am.
Azért azonosítottuk magunkat, na.
Have you been working here long, miss?
Almost 5 years, sir.
And do you like your job?
Very much so. I think it's only worth doing anything if you honestly enjoy it.
You hear that, Sonny? You should take that advice.
I'm on it, Marty. I'm trying to get myself fired if you haven't noticed.
Yeah, and me too.
Collateral damage.
Oké.
Do you know a gentleman named Louis C. Hayworth?
Of course I do. Mr. Hayworth is a regular guest at our establishment.
I see. How regular, if I may ask?
I can't give you any information about that. House policy.
We have that too. It's called the law, ma'am.
If you have any questions of that nature, please come back with a warrant.
Touché.
Ott a pont, és tényleg profi. Nem tudom, hogy a listát meg kéne kérdezzük.
Excuse me, gentlemen. That area is private. You need to register first.
Oh, thank you, miss.
Akkor regisztráljuk
I have
magunkat.
something that'll interest her.
Jó, akkor ezek szerint nem tudunk mit csinálni.
Does this list mean anything to you?
This? I'm not sure. No, nothing.
Don't you see some familiar names on there?
I do, but everybody knows those animals. Personally, I have no contact with any of them.
I see. Oh, thank you. Look, she gave this to us. The girl named Deborah, the one we asked you about.
I see.
Do you know what this is?
Of course. It's a membership card.
Was this person a regular here?
If this belonged to her, then yes. I can check for you. Please, the ladies will entertain you while you wait. I'll be right back.
Thank you. Much obliged.
És akkor gondolom, most itt interaktálni kéne valakivel. Akkor legyen a rókahölgy.
May I invite you gentlemen for a drink, perhaps?
No, thank you. We're in a hurry.
Oh.
Hogy most kell beszökjünk?
Is he a bouncer or a guest? I'd rather not ask.
I apologize for the wait. Please, come with me,
Ja,
gentlemen.
nem, így kell.
So you were successful.
My mistress, Madame Zavas, would like to meet you.
You mean that, Madame Savas?
As far as I know, there's only one of her, so yes,
Please, miss, take us to her.
with pleasure.
Madame Zavas was a legend in Clawville. Her name was known all over the wilderness. She's an avid royalist, former member of the Council of 12, spy master, assassin, businesswoman, and courtesan. To be honest, I didn't even know she was still alive. She's no spring chicken, that's for sure. She could also be my mother, or maybe my grandmother. First Ibn Wessler, now her. Honestly, tonight it wouldn't surprise me if His Majesty Hector III didn't grace me with his presence.
Nem a legjobb dolog. Ekkora nevek kerülnek szóba.
Interesting pieces.
Do you think so? It's the art of my people.
Crocodiles?
There are many kinds of crocodile in the wilderness, Mr. Featherland. This is the art of the Nilenites.
Ah, hence the name, the sweltering Nile.
It's a river, Mr. Featherland. My ancestors lived by this river a long time ago.
Ah, interesting.
Thank you.
Halott óra.
Is that the time already?
Have you noticed your clock's not working?
How observant you are. That clock isn't meant to show the time. It's a decoration. A memento.
It's beautiful.
Indeed.
Mindent megfigyelünk. Oké.
What a painting. Congratulations, ma'am.
Marty.
Yes. It's beautiful indeed. It's more than 40 years old. You know, I was considered pretty then.
Oh, don't say that. You still look great, ma'am.
Thank you. It feels good, but no. There's no need for lies. Those days are long gone. Every age has its truth and its beauty. For me, beauty is not in the looks anymore.
Bölcs,
I
amúgy.
agree, ma'am.
There are books here on quite a variety of topics.
Van egy bűn és bűnhődés. Bagyok
There are
nem
books here on
pislognak.
quite a variety of topics.
Üllő
There are
49
books here
éve.
on quite a variety of topics.
Egy kulcs az állati elméhez. És jó, ennyi. Na beszéljünk
Let
vele.
me introduce myself properly, ma'am.
Mr. Santino, I know who you are. And I also know your partner. The legend of the chicken police is always one step ahead of the chicken police.
Thank you. That's flattering.
May I ask what you are looking for exactly? Here on this night?
You know, that's an interesting question. The card we've shown your lovely colleague
Belongs to an old friend of ours, whom we haven't seen for a long time here.
And the name?
Unfortunately, no, Mr. Santino. That's confidential information. In my line of work, discretion is everything.
Well, you know, in our line of work, the law is above everything.
Oh, do you think so? I could tell you what your colleagues think is also above everything, but, as I said, discretion.
Look, ma'am, we don't want to impose. We're conducting a private investigation, which started off as harmless, but now it's murder.
That sounds serious.
It is serious. That's why we'd be grateful for your help.
In that case, I'm at your service. Ask your questions, and I'm going to answer to the best of my knowledge. As long as you're not wading through muddy waters.
Fortunately, I swim very well for a chicken.
I swim well, too.
Oké. Kérdezzünk.
Louis Hayworth is a good friend of mine. It surprises me that he's a regular here.
You wouldn't believe our clientele. You would be shocked.
No doubt. Louis, does he come here often?
Not so often.
Nem tudom, miért lehet rajta
Thank you for the
ennyit
vague
pörögni.
answer, ma'am.
The mystery is thrilling. The thrill is life itself.
That was beautiful, ma'am.
This place isn't just our home with the girls. It's a sanctuary.
Really? How?
It symbolizes why the city was founded almost 1,000 years ago. Unity, love, freedom.
Interbreeding?
That too, yes. Do you have a problem with that?
Oh, don't get me wrong. I don't. My girlfriend's a predator.
Really? I'm glad to hear it.
A barátnőm egy ragadozó.
As I was saying, it belongs to us. Only our most valuable guests have one of these. And our employees, of course.
The employees, too. Good to know. Can you tell me if this card belonged to a guest or an employee?
No.
I thought so. Yes, thank you. Do you know Natasha Katsenko personally?
Yes, I do.
Tell me about her.
Warm-hearted, protective, quick-tempered, fierce. Yes, fierce.
Thank you. Very useful.
Aha.
Tell me, have you ever seen this list?
I have.
Am I right to assume it has something to do with the sweltering Nile?
It does, yes, but I can't tell you more about it. No.
Discretion is key.
Absolutely.
Ez a kihallgatás kemény dió lesz, már előre érzem.
Deceit is everything to Zavas. She used to be a spy, so I'm gonna take her every word with a grain of salt.
Oké.
Who's behind the legend, Miss Zavas? Who are you, really?
Just an animal raised to survive, Mr. Featherland. And because I've been taught, I know how to survive. I always was what I had to be.
And you managed to dodge my question. Clever.
Well, you see, this is one of the typical elements of survival. The way of dodging a delicate question and still making the questioner believe he got the answer. But you're too cunning and experienced, aren't you? You're not an easy one to fool.
I'm trying to maintain appearances, ma'am.
You should. Appearances, most of the time, are stronger and more dangerous than the truth.
Oké, a túlélőt megkaptuk.
Isn't it dangerous being a royalist nowadays?
You know, Mr. Featherland, those that are genuinely dedicated never care about danger. That's something you must know even better than I.
Do you think it's my loyalty that motivates me the most? If you do, I'm sorry to disappoint you.
Maybe you're not loyal to the police, Mr. Featherland, but you are to your own principles and ideals. Am I right?
That's true, but you're avoiding the question. Why did you stay in the king's employment after the scandals that are making half the city riot? What makes you still believe so much in the institution of monarchy?
You know, I always adapt, but only to a degree where I still don't have to give up myself and my ideals for the sake of survival.
You'd rather die, then?
Maybe it would seem too dramatic or even romantic to you, but yes, exactly.
I'm sorry to doubt you, but I've always thought your kind was rather compromised.
Do you mean spies or crocodiles?
Spies, of course.
I must disappoint you, but there aren't many groups as loyal and unwavering as the spies, Mr. Featherland.
If you're telling me, ma'am, I believe you.
Oké. Nagyon nehéz, mert olyan szinten a kitérő válaszok, illetve maga az, ahogy ő maga is tereli a beszélgetést, és olyan hosszan elnyúlik, hogy csak a detektív méterből tudom, hogy ez most jó vagy rossz volt. Oké.
What is the sweltering Nile? Is it really just a luxury brothel?
First of all, it's what it looks like. Luxurious relaxation with luxurious ladies and gentlemen. For wealthy ladies and gentlemen with luxurious needs.
And under the surface?
If you're insinuating that my girls are kind of spies, you're on the wrong track. On a very wrong track, to be precise.
Don't they have confidential information on almost all the wealthy bachelors of Clawville?
Bachelors? Don't be naive. Almost exclusively married men visit here.
Well, then my question is even more valid.
Of course, they know much. Many visit here who don't care about sex, Mr. Featherland. Some come here to talk. And meanwhile, they inadvertently say a lot about themselves.
Which makes them easy targets for blackmail, right?
It could, yes. But even the assumption is offensive.
Hú. Nem tudom, megmondom őszintén, nekem ezek a kérdések most nem egyértelműek, hogy... Nem egyértelműek nekem, megmondom őszintén az, hogy ebből... Hogy több van-e a felszín alatt, én nem csak erre gondoltam feltétlen, hogy kémek. És így ez a sértés, hogy -20-ba elment. Hát jó... Lehet egy megoldó központ is, tárgyaló félnek. Hogy itt tárgyalnak meg dolgokat, vagy valami. Na mindegy.
If I guess who the card belongs to, will you tell me?
I wouldn't say that's an acceptable price for such a secret as this, but if you guess right, I won't lie to you. Then, I will tell you you were right. Yes.
Good. Let's see. The answer to my question, Natasha Katsenko.
Well, Mr. Featherland, it seems the gossip about you is right. What gave it away?
It couldn't have been easier. There's a beautiful woman with a mysterious past, trying to keep it a secret, while someone's threatening her with the exact same thing, leaving rather unmistakable messages behind. Plus, we found the card on Deborah, who was her best friend and confidant, so she was either trying to hide it or destroy it forever, so no one could find out the truth. Am I right so far?
Indeed, Mr. Featherland.
So if I'm not mistaken, Natasha used to work for you before she met Ibn Wessler. He fell in love with her, gave her a job at the Millions Club. The rest is history.
You have talent, Mr. Featherland. I'm really sorry you're not working for the government.
I am working for the government. I'm a cop.
Are you sure, Mr. Featherland?
Touché.
Indeed. Natasha used to work here. We can put it that way, but you know, this isn't just a workplace. She also lived here. She was part of our family, and we still love her very much.
Right. That puts everything in a different light. Savas is a true survivor, always was. And she's proud of that, even to this day. Maybe I can get her to trust me if I play to this part of her.
Oké, annyira nem lehet elrontani a dolgot ezek szerint.
Why did you take her in? Maybe you saw yourself in Natasha.
She was only 17 when she knocked on the rear entrance of the brothel on an unusually cold, rainy night. I opened the door myself.
Was Natasha alone?
Yes, completely alone. Her left arm was slashed with an ugly wound, and she was frozen to the bone, barefoot, only a thin nightgown on her.
Did she tell you what happened to her?
After I brought her into the house, warmed her up, and changed her into new clothes, that was the first thing I asked. But no, she didn't tell me. We became very good friends, but I still don't know what happened to her and where she came from, or how she knew about this place and the rear entrance.
And you weren't bothered by all those secrets?
That would have been very hypocritical of me, don't you think? No, it didn't bother me. I make a living out of secrets, Mr. Featherland.
I see. Do you know where Natasha came from? Before Clawville?
Naturally. The poor dear couldn't even deny it. Even her name's eloquent, her accent, but mostly her manners, Mr. Featherland. She's from Stovos, and she belonged to the upper class of Stovonian social circles. She could barely even speak the language when I first met her.
That's all you know about her? An ex-spy like you must have checked up on her new protege's past.
That's the most exciting thing. Yes, I have. Multiple times putting my most treasured connections to good use. But nobody found anything. Natasha's trail could only be traced back to the Stovonian border. What happened in that country, no one knows.
It's rather curious, don't you think?
It is, Mr. Featherland, yes, curious. That's why I've always been rather fond of Natasha.
Did it touch you deeply when she left you?
Indeed, it did.
Zavas is protective. It seems she's dedicating her whole life to her proteges. If I concentrate on that, maybe she'll open up to me.
Oké. Nem nagyon lehet elrontani, ahogy észrevettem, csak ilyen nagyon extrém dolgokkal, mert az egy szavas, az egy lehetőséges válaszokra is megkapjuk a plusz 10-et.
Why did you let her leave with Wessler?
What else could I have done? Wessler is a handsome, rich, powerful animal, and Natasha fell in love with him. If anything, I know you can't stand in the way of a woman in love. There's nothing more dangerous, Mr. Featherland.
I've been in this job for more than 20 years, but I haven't heard that one before.
You see? You learn something new every day if you have an open mind. Yes.
Védelmező és használjam ki azt, hogy védi a pártfogoltjait, de az, hogy a város legmagasabb szintű maffiózójával legyen, az biztonságos. És -10, hogy szóba hoztam. Jó, oké.
When was the last time you saw her, Madame Zavas?
Maybe around 2 months ago. There was a ball, attended by Ibn Wessler, his beautiful mate Natasha, and myself. Yes.
Was she herself? Did you feel like she was afraid or worried about something?
On the contrary, she was unrestrained, free, radiant. She was in love. Yes, in her own unique way.
What do you mean?
You know Natasha loves on a different level than most Clawville women. Or most women in the wilderness, in fact. Maybe it's because of the Stovonian origins. Perhaps it's something else.
So you didn't notice anything strange about her?
Well, if anything could be called strange, it was that I saw a woman positively floating above the ground, who previously used to stand on it with 2 feet.
I see. Thank you, madam.
Okay.
How did you feel when you learned Natasha was going to leave?
Honestly, I was very hurt. I loved her as a daughter. How would you have felt?
I couldn't say.
And I still couldn't stop her, and you know why?
Of course I do. Because you loved her.
You've been in my shoes before, am I right, Detective? Yes, I can feel you have.
This isn't about me, madam. Please stop changing the subject.
I have felt betrayed on a certain level. Yes, and offended, and alone. Even amongst all my friends.
Were you disappointed in her?
Only in myself, Mr. Featherland. But I have a hunch you know this feeling very well.
Yes, you're right. Well, thank you for your time, madam.
Anytime, Detective. Yes, anytime.
Aha. Feltett kérdések 9, fókuszpontosság 60, komoly zsaru. Megkaptuk a 4-et. Hát... Én szerintem most először megpróbálom az újra. Meg kíváncsi vagyok, hogy mi a pozitív. Mármint az ennél is pozitívabb, hogy ugye, amit mondtam, hogyha nem az ibnös dolog.
Deceit is everything to Zavas. She used to be a spy, so I'm gonna take her every word with a grain of salt. Who's behind the legend, Miss Zavas? Who are you, really?
Just an animal raised to survive, Mr. Featherland. And because I've been taught, I know how to survive. I always was what I had to be.
And you managed to dodge my question. Clever.
Well, you see, this is one of the typical elements of survival. The way of dodging a delicate question and still making the questioner believe he got the answer. But you're too cunning and experienced, aren't you? You're not an easy one to fool.
I'm trying to maintain appearances, ma'am.
You should. Appearances, most of the time, are stronger and more dangerous than the truth.
Okay. Kérdezzünk rá most
were
erre.
you really the king's spy?
If that's such an open secret, then I haven't been doing my job very well, isn't that right? Yes, I was a spy. But that's such a blunt way of putting it. I always say I used to undertake confidential, generally political assignments of a delicate nature for the king that were in the interests of national security.
Put that way, it sounds rather romantic.
Don't believe the cheap fiction, Mr. Featherland. Espionage is anything but romantic.
I believe you, madam.
If you must know, I only did it because I believed I could protect those that I serve. Weapons have only one use in this world: to keep the peace. Yes, I always thought about myself and my craft that way.
Thank you for your
Érdekes
honesty, ma'am.
hozzálátás, de van benne valami. Oké.
Why did you decide to open a brothel?
You know, this place used to be an orphanage. Then after the Great Avian Plague, a hatchery. Then young mothers lived here who had nowhere else to go. That's when I took over.
Young mothers and prostitutes. That feels like a sharp turn.
No, it didn't happen like that, of course. The process took 20 years, but one thing remains the same. I wanted to help girls who had nothing and no one. To help them.
And this was the best you could do, helping them sell their bodies.
You see things very superficially, Mr. Featherland. We're a family who helped each other even at the worst of times, took care of each other, and what's most important, survived. Yes, survive, no matter the cost.
And it's the cherry on top of the most treasured secrets of the rich and famous.
Very insightful, Mr. Featherland. There's truth to that. Knowledge is power, as they say. And we know a lot about powerful animals that could be used as weapons. Or the opposite. That could avert a war.
Oké.
If I guess who the card belongs to, will you tell me?
I wouldn't say that's an acceptable price for such a secret as this, but if you guess right, I won't lie to you. Then, I will tell you you were right. Yes.
Good. Let's see. The answer to my question. Natasha Katsenko.
Well, Mr. Featherland, it seems the gossip about you is right. What gave it away?
It couldn't have been easier. There's a beautiful woman with a mysterious past, trying to keep it a secret, while someone's threatening her with the exact same thing, leaving rather unmistakable messages behind. Plus, we found the card on Deborah, who was her best friend and confidant, so she was either trying to hide it or destroy it forever, so no one could find out the truth. Am I right so far?
Indeed, Mr. Featherland.
So if I'm not mistaken, Natasha used to work for you before she met Ibn Wessler. He fell in love with her, gave her a job at the Millions Club. The rest is history.
You have talent, Mr. Featherland. I'm really sorry you're not working for the government.
I am working for the government. I'm a cop.
Are you sure, Mr. Featherland?
Touché.
Indeed. Natasha used to work here. We can put it that way, but you know, this isn't just a workplace. She also lived here. She was part of our family, and we still love her very much.
Right. That puts everything in a different light. Zavos is a true survivor, always was. And she's proud of that, even to this day. Maybe I can get her to trust me if I play to this part of her.
Ez a kérdés nem volt itt?
You tried to protect her. From what?
Natasha came to me penniless, cold to the bone, and wounded. She was only 17 years old. Even if she were my enemy, I would have taken her in until she recovered. Yes, I'm like that. I was raised to be like that.
Haven't you seen any opportunities for profit? Or were you guided by pure animal goodness?
Is that so hard for you to believe?
I think that worldly women like you try to turn every position to their advantage. I hope I don't offend you.
On the contrary. But no. I didn't see any opportunities in a girl who could barely speak our language, who was starving and wounded and obviously running from something. In fact, I was taking unnecessary risks because of her.
Kezdem azt érezni, hogy Natashát egy üldözi. Hogy elmenekült a családjától, és valamiféle titkosszolgálat kergeti. Vagy legalábbis olyan módszerekkel valakinek az embere onnan. Oké. Mindenre képes, hogy a titkok maradjanak, igaz? Szerintem ez lesz, mert ugye a fókusz az az, hogy egy igazi túlélő mindig is az volt, és erre máig büszke.
You're capable of anything to keep your secrets hidden. Am I right?
Do you mean like sending obscene threats to Natasha to remind her of her sordid past?
So you know about the threats?
Of course I do. Who do you think Natasha came to for help first? You, perhaps? Please, don't make me laugh.
If you want to know, I wasn't even her second choice. Even Mr. Philmar Lowe entered the picture earlier than me.
Should I tell you I'm sorry to hear that?
Don't bother.
Jó van.
Do you know where Natasha came from before Clawville?
Naturally. The poor dear couldn't even deny it. Even her name's eloquent, her accent, but mostly her manners, Mr. Featherland. She's from Stovos, and she belonged to the upper class of Stavonian social circles. She could barely even speak the language when I first met her.
That's all you know about her. An ex-spy like you must have checked up on her new protege's past.
That's the most exciting thing. Yes, I have. Multiple times putting my most treasured connections to good use. But nobody found anything. Natasha's trail could only be traced back to the Stavonian border. What happened in that country, no one knows.
It's rather curious, don't you think?
It is, Mr. Featherland. Yes, curious. That's why I've always been rather fond of Natasha.
Did it touch you deeply when she left you?
Indeed, it did.
Zavos is protective. It seems she's dedicating her whole life to her proteges. If I concentrate on that, maybe she'll open up to me.
Esküszöm, azt érzem, hogy mintha még magát Sunnyt is meg kéne fejtsem, mert nekem egyáltalán nem azt jelenti, amit itt van, ez az egy soros, és akkor felteszem ezt a kérdést, és Sunny elkezd ilyen több sorban beszélni, és a végén így ouch, hogy ez még nekem is olyan kellemetlen volt, és így ez a pislogok kettőt, hogy oké, még Sunnyt is meg kell értsem, mert az, hogy mindenáron meg tudja védeni a titkait, az... hát ugye Sunny úgy tette fel a kérdést, hogy még Natashát is meg tudtál volna fenyegetni, meg mit tudom én. Holott én igazából csak arra a titokra gondoltam, mint én, mint játékos, mint Kirby, az én véleményem, hogy Hogy Natashát is védi.
Have you kept in touch?
Only occasionally, Mr. Featherland. She writes to me every few weeks, and very rarely we talk on the phone. But I haven't heard from her in weeks. The truth is, I've started to worry about her.
Did she give no sign of being in trouble?
Never. No. Natasha's not the kind to talk about her feelings.
Yeah, I've noticed that myself. When was the last time you saw her, Madame Zavas?
Maybe around 2 months ago. There was a ball, attended by Ibn Wessler, his beautiful mate Natasha, and myself. Yes.
Was she herself? Did you feel like she was afraid or worried about something?
On the contrary, she was unrestrained, free, radiant. She was in love. Yes, in her own unique way.
What do you mean?
You know Natasha loves on a different level than most Clawville women. Or most women in the wilderness, in fact. Maybe it's because of the Stovonian origins. Perhaps it's something else.
So you didn't notice anything strange about her?
Well, if anything could be called strange, it was that I saw a woman positively floating above the ground, who previously used to stand on it with 2 feet.
I see. Thank you, madam.
Oké, most eléggé pluszban vagyunk.
How did you feel when you learned Natasha was going to leave?
Honestly, I was very hurt. I loved her as a daughter. How would you have felt?
I couldn't say.
And I still couldn't stop her, and you know why?
Of course I do. Because you loved her.
You've been in my shoes before, am I right, Detective? Yes, I can feel you have.
This isn't about me, madam. Please stop changing the subject.
I have felt betrayed on a certain level. Yes, and offended, and alone. Even amongst all my friends.
Were you disappointed in her?
Only in myself, Mr. Featherland. But I have a hunch you know this feeling very well.
Yes, you're right. Well, thank you for your time, madam.
Anytime, Detective. Yes, anytime.
Fókuszpontosság 90, igazi nyomozó. Legendás csirkekapók visszatértek, baby, még kicsit kopottan, de hamarosan újra a régi fényükben tündökölve. Szép munka. Hát úgy látszik, hogy ez a kérdés ment annyira félre. Oké. Fordéban dolgozott, illetve Ibn Wessler megismerte, és kimentette volna onnan. Oké. Hát folytassuk.
Please, gentlemen, wait here a moment. I would like to show you something that could help you.
Oh, that's excellent news. Thank you. We will wait.
Do you trust her?
Not in the slightest. Even her smile is fake. This woman wallowed in other animals' secrets until she became one too.
That's exactly how I feel.
Anyway, now that we're here, we can take a better look around.
Just what I was thinking.
Törzsgyerekjék. Más nem lehet. Nézzük a képet.
Yes, this is the Zavas from...
Nincs itt semmi extra. Kilenc és fél 12. Most Nem az órát akartam leolvasni, mielőtt félreértés esik, hanem azt nézem, hogy nekem van egy tippem, hogy itt lesz a könyvek között.
These books are here for a reason.
Szóval most itt két számként próbálom felírni, volt egy 9-es, és akkor 11:30. És rosszul közelítem meg. Fél talán, hogy vegyük így.
These books are here.
Egy, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 15, 14. Ajaj, nem is ez lesz a lényeg.
These books are here. These books are. These books are. These books are here. These books are here.
És megint az óra.
Beautiful pieces for sure.
Uha.
Yes.
Hát itt most gondba leszek.
These books are.
De már rákattintottam mindenre. Talán egy sor ennek kéne lennie?
These books are. These books.
Nézzük meg ezeket a dolgokat. A nilenita kultúra egy ősi, mára már kihalt civilizációtól ered, ami annak idején egy jelentős és nagy birodalom volt a vadvidék délnyugati, forró égövi vidékein. Egyik híres, ma is élő képviselője a népének, Madame Zaivas, a legendás kurtizán. A nagy madárvész egy járvány, amely Alteria egész kontinenség végig söpört és kiirtotta a világ madárpopulációjának közel 40%-át. Cloville-ben a vész különösen nagy pusztítást végzett, a város teljes szárnyas lakosságának mindegy 50%-a oda lett. A madárvészt végül egy Avriában kifejlesztett vakcinával és számos keltetőház létesítésével sikerült megfékezni, bár a kárt máig nem sikerült teljesen helyrehozni. A nagy madárvészt követően Cloville-ben több keltetőházat is alapítottak, ezek a létesítmények egyszerre működtek anyaotthonként, szülészetként, árvaházként és kórházként, és elsődleges funkciójuk a város madárpopulációjának felélesztése volt. A vállalkozás lassan ugyan, de sikeresen működött, és mostanra Cloville népességének mintegy közel 1/3 különböző madárfajok teszik ki. Mosolya hamis, ő maga is hamis, de veszély nagyon is valódi. Nőstény, krokodil és Madame Zaivas. Madame Zaivas kém és kurtizán, aki már akkor legendás volt, amikor én még kis csibe voltam. Mesék szóltak a szépségéről és gyilkos hidegvérűségéről. Mára felette is eljárt az idő, de nem tűnik kevésbé veszélyesnek, mint amiről a legendák szólnak. Most a Sweaterling Nile nevű luxusbordélyház tulajdonosaként tengeti a napjait. Zaivas és Natasha nem csak ismerték egymást, de komoly közeli kapcsolatban is voltak egymással. Még Zajvász sem volt képes lenyomozni Natasha homályos múltjának minden részletét, pedig megpróbálta bevetni minden kapcsolatát és befolyását, ami nem kevés. Nagyon mélyen érintette, amikor Natasha, akit lányaként szeretett, elhagyta, és elhagyta a Neilt Ibn Wessler kedvéért. Legendás kém és kurtizán Madame Zajvász vezeti a bordélyt, elővigyázatosnak kell lennünk, a nőnek igencsak rossz híre van szerte a vadvidéken. Natasha Sweltering Nile bordélyban dolgozott, mielőtt Ibn Wessler megismerte és kimentette volna. Oké.
Nothing interesting.
Hoppácska! Hogy is van? 49 a hüllőéve. Bagyok nem pislognak. Az elmém 7 darabja. A ló halála. 49 a hüllőéve. Kulcs az állati elméhez. Számmal kifejezhetőleg csak a 7-es, a 4-es és a 9-es van. Oké, nem a 7 óra. Oké, 4-es. Jó. Erre most ötletem nincs.
Nothing interesting.
És a képen látom a megoldást. Egy dátum van, de ennyire nem.
These books are here for a reason. They mean something.
Kulcs az állati elméhez.
These books are here. These books.
Talán az író. Hát,
These books are here.
én akármennyire próbálok bele látni. Lehet, hogy ez egy hülyeség, de lehetne az, hogy 6 óra a kulcs, mert 6 könyv van. Nem látok az órán semmit. Egyszerűen nem jövök rá.
It's a piece of a painting. Judging by how well it was hidden, I'm sure this is what Natasha wanted to show us. We stepped into it. Molly. It's a piece of a painting. Judging by how well it was hidden, I'm sure this is what Natasha wanted to show us.
Hát megmarom magam.
Nothing interesting here. Yes.
Még mindig csak ez, hogy gyönyörű halálos. Csak a könyvekkel van valamiféle. Úristennek kattog az agyam, de egyszerűen nem jövök rá.
These books are here. These books are.
Hát azon is gondolkozok, hogy nem a fény jelent valamit. Die marble. Nem. Okidoki. Valami tippet adhatna a játék? Bagyok nem pislognak, a bűz és bűnhődés. És a ló halála nekem...
These books are here.
Nekem regénynek tűnnek. 3-nak. Elmém 7 darabja, a hüllő 49 éve. Kulcs az állati elméhez. 2 pszichológiai könyv van, és 4 regény. Nem? Határozottan nem. Mindegy, melyiket mozgatom előre, ez a logika sem helytálló. Esetleg 7 óra 49 perc. Nem. Hát nem tudom. Nem tudom. Tényleg nem. Pedig valamilyen szinten szerintem csak túl gondolom. Ez a baj, túl nyilvánvaló. A hüllős.
These books are here.
Akkor egyszerűen mondjuk csak az, hogy 7 óra. Mondjuk. Hogy összesen annyi könyv van? Nem. Nem, nincsen semmi olyan dolog, ami utalna rá. nincsen kattanás, nincsen semmi. Na jó, hát igazából itt megrekedtünk, és nem tudom folytatni. Szóval így nem fogjuk folytatni a következő részben, addig megpróbálom kitalálni, hogy mi lehet. Ti pedig ne felejtsétek el a komment szekciót, és hogyha nektek van ötletetek, vagy tanácsotok esetlegben tudjátok is, azt osszátok meg velem. Legyünk együtt nagy nyomozók, és oldjuk meg ezt a kis rejtvényt. Az ilyenekben sose voltam jó, ezt megmondom őszintén. De ez most így különösen érdekesnek tartom. Szóval segítsetek, légy szíves, bízom bennetek. Most tartsatok velem akkor legközelebb is, a komment szekciót, ahogy kértem, ne kíméljétek, iratkozzatok fel a csatornára, ha még nem vagytok, hogy nem maradjatok le a következő részről és az egyéb tartalmakról, és dobjatok egy lájkot, ha tetszett a videó. Tartsatok velem legközelebb is, viszlát srácok, sziasztok!